Lance Armstrong, what to make of this? I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I think if you wait long enough, you will detect politics in everything. Now let's do a quick comparison. When Roger Clemens was accused of doping, the sports media turned on him like that. He was guilty. Lied to Congress, they needed to throw him away and throw away the key at the same time. They were just, I'll never forget it. I thought Clemens was this beloved sports figure, but when this happened, the media turned on Clemens. Now, it'd be interesting to watch the media deal with Lance Armstrong and how they react to this. But, it won't take long. In fact, we got a couple sound bites from the CBS early morning show today. That, in fact, let's play those. Let's get those out of the way. It was Charlie Rose talking to Bicycling Magazine editor-in-chief Peter Flax about Lance Armstrong dropping his challenge against charges that he used performance-enhancing drugs. This, I tell you, Lance Armstrong is a hero to millions of people. He wasn't supposed to survive testicular cancer. His percentage chances were single digits. He got involved with the doctors. He learned everything he could about it. He overcame that and goes on to win 7 Tours de France, a number of other championships. He has passed over 500 tests of urine, blood, other bodily fluids, precious and otherwise. Some of these tests have been random when he didn't know they were going to. He's passed every test. And here comes this agency that they say it's not a government agency, it's just a private sector nonprofit, but I'm not sure that it doesn't have ties to the government. And they have been after Lance Armstrong and practically every other winner of the Tour de France and other bicycling events. In Armstrong's case, I think since 1999, they have been after him. And then yesterday, Armstrong found out, I'm not going to go to arbitration. I'm not fighting anymore. To hell with it. Yeah, and so the immediate question is, well, what does that say? What is the most natural conclusion? And sadly, the most natural conclusion is he's guilty. He's going to stop fighting it. The next phase of the Armstrong battle with this agency was to go to arbitration. And that's what he's not going to do. And he said, look, I'm tired. I'm tired of putting my family through this. I'm tired of putting myself through this. I don't know what more I can do. He claims they've got no evidence. They are pursuing him even in retirement. And so many people think it's a witch hunt. Many people, I'll tell you, folks, let me go out a little bit on a limb here. If you look at what's going on at Penn State University, we had the story a couple of weeks ago about how the entire university might lose its accreditation over what happened with Sandusky and the football program. If it loses its accreditation, it may as well close up shop. There's no reason to exist if an education from Penn State is said to be worthless. Now, the Louis Freeh report at Penn State indicted everybody from Joe Paterno to Spanier to every underling in the president's office to football coaching staff and so forth. Prior to this, and that statue of Paterno at the stadium, and there was nobody with a more impeccable reputation for integrity than Joe Paterno. And now Paterno passes away, and whatever reputation he had, if it's not in tatters, it's seriously questioned. Paterno politically was a very conservative guy. I never told anybody this. But after each of my books came out, I received requests for autographed copies from Coach Paterno. I never met him. I never spoke to him. But I remember the first book I autographed. I couldn't believe that Coach Paterno wanted my autograph, wanted to read my book. I just said, it's an honor to sign this to you, blah, blah, blah. It was for all of his career, and for a few months after his death, he was impeccable. Now it's gone. His reputation in tatters, finished. Louis Freeh no, he can't fight back, but of course that's true. But even when he was alive, he was doing his best to fight back. And I don't want anybody to misunderstand. I'm not trying to say he didn't do anything here. This whole Sandusky thing is sordid, and in itself, it's despicable. But they're trying to make it out like Paterno was Sandusky. And that I don't believe. So you have this great, impeccable reputation now totally destroyed. Not partially, totally destroyed. Somebody worth looking up to gone. I do believe that there are forces that want to tear down such people. Oh, we see it every day. I mean, part and parcel of the purpose of the United States media is to build people up. You've heard this yourself. Build people up and then eventually tear them down. It's why, ladies and gentlemen, I may inject myself personally here, something I very rarely do. It is why I have studiously, and I've made the point to you many times, I have studiously avoided any opportunity to let the media have anything to do with my success. The media didn't make me, meaning you don't listen to this program because way back long ago the media said, wow, this is a great show, this is a funny guy. You know what? You need to be listening. And they weren't doing daily, weekly, positive profiles of me. You listen here because you found the program on your own or however you found it, and you listen to it, you like it, it's a good show, it provides you whatever you want, and that's it. And because of that, the media can't tear it apart. But they try. Doesn't stop them from trying. You know the drill. Now we have Lance Armstrong, somebody who is universally respected by people for overcoming incredible odds. If there was doping in cycling, he clearly wasn't the only one. Somebody won those Tour de France races. And there were witnesses. And Lance Armstrong won them. They haven't found one bit of evidence he doped. It's just supposition. And you've got people saying, I have no question. I have no doubt that he doped. There's no evidence of it. So here's somebody else that's in the process of being ripped to shreds that a lot of people admired and looked up to. Now, Armstrong's not conservative, at least as far as anybody knows. He's not, I don't know that he's actively political in any way, but culturally he'd be closer tied with the pop culture left than he would with anybody else. Doesn't matter, they're still after him. But then when he stops the fight, it's only natural to conclude that there must be something there. Oh, it is. It is a personal vendetta. That's my point. It's a personal. If it's not professional vendetta against success, against achievement, rip it down, tear it apart. As it happens to people in our culture every day. Media rips people apart after building them up. It's how small people make themselves feel big. It's how small, irrelevant people make themselves feel like they matter, is to disqualify the achievements of others or to criticize them or to destroy them. It's the only way that these little people can build themselves back up or make themselves feel like they're something. But then, on the other hand, Armstrong is dropping the fight. And the only natural conclusion is that this is what most people are concluding, he's guilty. But some are saying they don't care. Everybody else did it. And since everybody else was doing it, he might have been doing it. It was all fair because everybody was doing it. Floyd Landis, a couple other people that won the Tour de France have been found to be doping, but they haven't found it on Armstrong. Let's get these audio sound bites. Peter Flax, Bicycling Magazine editor-in-chief, talking with Charlie Rose, who said, is there any doubt, Peter, that he in fact used these doping products?
I'm absolutely convinced that he did, but I'm also convinced that he is the victim of a witch hunt, and there's no justice possible here. The legacy is being shaped on Bicycling's Facebook page, hundreds and hundreds of comments, and I'd say 95% of them are pro-Lance, people communicating their support for him. He is guilty, but in a lot of people's eyes, he's still an inspiration. He still won those Tours de France, and take some time to see how this all plays out.
Now, here's this guy. I'm absolutely convinced he did dope. I'm absolutely convinced. Has anybody ever seen any evidence? Some of you have to help me out. I don't know if there's any evidence. I'm not aware of it. I got to take a break. There's one more soundbite that goes with this. We'll get to it when we get back. We got a guy in his truck in South Bend. Is it Kansas? South Bend, Kansas. This is Joe. Joe, I want to get you in here real quick. How are you, sir?
Doing good, and you?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, the reason I think he's being torn down is because he's an exceptional person. He did many things in his life that makes him extremely exceptional. And to a liberal, you cannot be exceptional. You had to either steal it from somebody else or cheat to get there.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get old Joe in here, because he's singing my tune to a certain extent. It's like Obama now. We're not a superpower. We never were. All we did was steal from the poor people around the world. That's how we became a superpower. And the rich and the successful in America, nah. They just stole it from people. They had an unfair advantage, or they got lucky, or they cheated or something. And so we're going to spread the wealth and we're going to redistribute. So that liberals do have a big problem with individual achievement. This Armstrong business, folks, we're told now that Lance Armstrong didn't win those 7 Tours de France, and Penn State didn't win all those football games for 10 years. The Soviet Union was never this good at rewriting history. They tried, but the Soviet Union was never this good. Armstrong has never been found guilty of anything. He gives up on proving a point after over 500 tests that prove his innocence. He's simply exhausted. What more do I have to do? Now, this agency, United States Anti-Doping Agency, the USADA, it's a taxpayer-funded nonprofit. They say it's not government, but it's taxpayer-funded. So it's not simply cut and dried that it isn't a government organization. They call themselves the Anti-Doping Organization for the United States. It created by the Olympic Committee back in 2000. It's just it's an amazing thing. I saw it. Catherine pointed it out to me last night, and she admires Lance Armstrong for a host of incredible reasons. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't want to believe this and are sick and tired of this kind of behavior by government agencies. It's Open Line Friday. Rush Limbaugh, having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Here is that second soundbite. It's Armin Katayan. CBS this morning, Charlie Rose talking with the Bicycling Magazine guy, Peter Flax, who in the previous soundbite we heard say he is convinced that Lance Armstrong doped. He's convinced of it. But he's also the victim of a witch hunt. How? I mean, if he did it, and they're trying to track him down, what's the witch hunt? The witch hunt, if he didn't do it. Now he's into his retirement, and they're still pursuing the guy. Armstrong says, I've had it. I got 500 tests. I passed every test. They've got no evidence. I've had it with this. So Charlie Rose says, okay, Armin Katayan is the CBS chief investigative correspondent. He's on Gumbel's show on HBO, or was, at one point, Real Sports, his sports investigative guy. Here's what he said.
This process has become so politicized from going back 5 years now. It's not a government agency. It's a private organization, a nonprofit organization that has a stake in this politically to prove that Lance Armstrong has been doping to send a message to other athletes. And I don't know, when you talk about a fair process and safe sport, how much this really adds to that.
So he loses all these titles. What happens?
If they just hand the jersey to whomever came in second, all of those men are convicted dopers, people who've made financial settlements to get out of a doping case. I spent 7 years watching it. Someone won those Tour de France. Lance Armstrong did. I saw it.
Yep. It did, and the other people have doped, and they've proved it on the others. And they're also talking, Snerdley, they want to take away his endorsement money. Retroactively, they want to get every dollar he was ever paid. He was on the U.S. Postal Service team. He was on the U.S. Postal Service team, and as such, the team was bankrolled by the Postal Service. But they want to go after his endorsements, prize money, everything. They want to strip Lance Armstrong of everything he's got. Well, Snerdley said, who did he make mad? Who the hell did he tick off? That's, sadly, it's a legitimate question.